Alright, let's begin. Yesterday I began leveling Viper. I've started doing it completely wrong. I probably could have already finished leveling him yesterday, but I finished him today. Basically, I was grinding Borja. All those fates, events, and even the duty event I don't dungeon. You can even call it probably a dungeon in Borja, which was pretty cool. Actually, I was pretty surprised by the content. The story was intriguing. The fates themselves, variety of them. And I hope something, I don't know, not the same, but something similar will be available again as a current content. And the only thing, the problem in my opinion, was that it was so hidden behind 3 teleportations. Then you have this whole quest line to completely unlock everything there. And it just feels like they should have opened it up a little bit more, you know, with less steps. So here I am, level 90. Level 90 Viper. Kinda got used already to the rotation. I guess, I don't know if I'm really used to it, but I got the hang of most of the skills, how they interact, how they work. But my key bindings are all over the place. I still haven't thought about how I want to place some of those combinations together. I'll figure it out later. Right now, I want to finish Viper's questline, the whole job questline, and begin the Dawntrail MSQ. Having conquered his fear of questioning the locals, Keshka is ready to do something else. Good to see, Magin. After a lot of asking around, I dug up some new leads. Or at least I think I did. Wasn't easy though. At first the only stories of interest were about Gridanian poachers, dealing in so-called exotic meats. Juveniles, in other words, too young and too dead to be what we're after. That detour notwithstanding, there were a few other tidbits that might be useful. I got my own thoughts on the matter, but I wanna hear yours too. That alright? Much obliged. So I hear an adventurer came across a whole bunch of strikingly beautiful red feathers, just outside of town. They ended up giving them to some kids who've been playing with them ever since. More to the point, there was talk of a huge beast with glowing blue eyes, flying off towards a place called the Black Shroud. Red feathers, blue eyes, put the two together and it sounds an awful lot like the beast that we're hunting, basically. I don't want to read that name. No way I'm reading that. XIV. My god. Who comes up with those names there? Do they have a separate person whose whole purpose is to create the most obscure names, basically everything. Names of the characters, zones. Seems it's had enough of Tunnel and picked the Shroud as its new stamping ground. What's your take on it all? Basically agree. I knew you'd agree. After the amount of mystery meat I had to sample just to squeeze information out of those butchers at the market. I'm glad it all paid off. As for our next move, I reckon we ought to take an airship to Gridania. From what I hear, a fella by the name of Gavin over the Adder's Nest should be able to tell us more. I'll meet you there. Okay. Is it necessary? Can we just port him? I guess we can't. Guess we can't. I'm gonna abandon most of those quests that I don't need for now. Ah, this might be at the tribes quest that I didn't unlock. Forgot about it. How might I help? I'm after a Tural Vidra. I mean, I'm searching for this dangerous creature that come over from another continent. I see. As it happens, I'm aware of a beast that matches the description. Our scouts spoke of its blue eyes and red wings, and of its aggressive nature leading to attack any who dare approach. So it really is here in the shroud, and up to no good already. Thankfully there's been no deaths so far, but it's only a matter of time before a merchant or adventurer becomes the first. I believe the beast came here in search of a new territory. Tunneling wasn't to its liking, and now it's testing out the shroud. It would appear so. I'll tell the other adders that you're pursuing the beast, and to lend what assistance they can. I assume that's alright with you? Yes, sir, the more the merrier. Slaying the bastards what matters. And I ain't too proud to accept help when it's offered. So where it was last seen? In the South Shroud. Once you get there, head for Quarry Mill and look for Lieutenant Goliath. He's leading the search. You must be Keshka and Magin. The others sent word to expect both of you. I'm Goliath, the officer in charge of the operation. This is Innocent Stork, who's provided us with vital information. A merchant in her employ spotted the beast on the way back from Mulda. She has also taken the liberty of assembling a team of experts to assist in tracking the target. At no small expense, I might add, but compared to the losses my business would suffer were the creature allowed to roam free, I deem it a worthy investment. As our goals are aligned, perhaps you wish to join my experts in the field. If so, you'll find them near Roots Lake. I'm sure you'll get along swimmingly. Looks like we're late to the party. Let's go hear what they have to say. Kinda reminds me of this. Was it? I think it was a class quest or role quest where you had to find the beasts after the. It was in parallel with MSQ of Endwalker. You had to find the beasts in the zones like this too. Mr. Fish, hello. Fresh meat for the hunt, eh? Other came down to let you tag along, but don't get underfoot. We're looking for signs of creatures so our naturalists can predict its movements. Wouldn't lay traps where it's expected to appear. Got themselves a proper plan, don't they? Seeing as they are being so accommodating, we may as well join in the search. You just completed Act 2 in Ghost of Tsushima. Congrats. I finished the main story, and I'll return to it after I finish probably either the new expansion for Final Fantasy or when I'm gonna take a short break from it. I wanna finish the Iki Island DLC. Find me a few signs of activity. How about you? Is that a dark fantasy game? It's Final Fantasy. It's Final Fantasy 14, MMORPG. Corpses of grazing animals gouged by monsters' claws. Same here. The size and depth of the wound are considered consistent with how the beast hunts. And just like back in Trial, it's killing not just to eat, but also to mark its territory. To show anyone and everyone who's the boss. There we are. Managed to sniff anything out? Yes sir, aside from a couple of dung hills, we got some dead wildlife. Most likely the work of the beast. I reckon it's close, somewhere north of the swamp. We came to the same conclusion. This predator makes no attempt to recover its tracks. Clearly it has survived so long by virtue of its immense proportions, and in spite of its diminished intelligence. You got it all wrong. It left those tracks on purpose, to see how we react. Are you saying the beast is testing us? That's absurd. The level of foresight and cunning required to even attempt to do so is far beyond these lesser beings. What is the point? The point is to finish the main story. There's, what, 6 expansions? And unlock everything. Dungeons, raids, raid with guild, unlock better gear. The other activities, there's a lot of things. It's an MMO. If you never played MMO, it's hard for me to explain. Just an MMO that has a pretty well written main story. Most of it is... most of the main story cutscenes are voiced, but some of those side stories, side quests like this, I'm currently doing the new job, the new class quest line, and it's not voiced. Usually main story is voiced. Oh man, it's hard to explain. If you never played Final Fantasy, it's so hard to Just pinpoint what's the story about. The story has a lot of arcs. A lot of arcs. And mostly it's about, how to say it even, most of it is about reconnection between lost souls, lost civilizations. Basically the main planet that the protagonist and everyone occupies was split into 14 pieces, and there's 13 reflections of this world, like parallel worlds that have their own life, and there's some quest lines that deal with that, and there are other stories. It's hard to explain. It's a Final Fantasy game through and through. It has many references to single-player titles from the 90s, from first games. If you never played Final Fantasy, it's probably not for you. And also a lot of reading, so I don't know. I got into it 3 years ago, really loved it, really loved the story, characters, that it was so consistent. As for the corpses it left behind, those animals must not have been to its taste. I suggest using fresh cuts of prime livestock as bait. The bloodier the better. Once the creature has been enticed, surrounding and subduing it is but a formality. Hate to break it to you, but the beast is way too clever to fall for that. You're gonna need every trick in that book, and then some. Rest assured I've considered every eventuality. And even if there was a merit to your advice, I will not let it to be said that our success was the product of anyone's genius but mine and mine alone. What difference does it make who came up with that? A monetary difference. Innocent Stork offers better rewards based on performance. Hey, don't even think about trying to steal our thunder. We're the ones who'll bring her, whatever its name is, not to you. Ah, they wanna get all the credit for it. Fuckers. Listen, we've trained to fight large predators like these. If you got any sense, you'll let us take the lead. Classic trope. Some asshole gonna jump over his fucking head and die. In about 5 minutes. And put our lives in the hands of complete strangers? I think not. There's no place in our strategy for you. You stand aside and await further instructions. Fine, have it your way. If you're half the hunters you think you are, the beast as good as dead, right? 100% next quest we're finding all of them dead somewhere in the ditch. Come on, Magin. Let's leave them to it. Nothing good ever came from working with people you can't trust. Even I know that. Then it's decided. You two will wait at the southern end of the lower paths. Be ready to give chase in case the beast escapes us. Not that it will. Awfully quiet, don't you think? You hear that? That must be the one of the hunting party. It came from the north. Let's move. Like I said, they're probably gone. Didge. Let's do one fate. I wanna practice some skills. On level 30 you have only 4. Okay. Got it. He's alive. No, it hurts, but please tell us what happened. It was watching us. That fresh lamp should draw the target out of hiding, though if I lace it with toxin abroad, success is practically guaranteed. We have actually a normal raid. Wow. Man, the queues were insane yesterday. You couldn't queue up for any dungeon. It was impossible. I guess some people are already at level 100. Back to their main jobs. Asphodel, seriously? Oh man, I haven't done this in a while. Oh boy. Level 90. Huh. It's gonna be interesting. Do I have any? I have experience boost, nice. So I will have the full gear, the full stack. Basically, all my skills will work in here. Okay. From what I remember, you'll have to move around the platforms a bit, and it's been a while. It's been probably like a year since I've been in this dungeon, in this raid. Hey. Now I remember what I forgot to place on the hotbar. Limit break. Limit break. Actually, I might buy the rings. I don't have the rings for my level right now. Portraits. I forgot to update my portrait. Let's see. How did battle stance one? Wait, standing. What was the name of it? Battle stance? Wait, portraits. Apply to adventure plate. How can I change the gear in the portrait display pose list? How do you do this? Ah, reflect current gear. There we go. There we go. There's no button to reflect current gear there, for some reason. Book camera, free camera. How do you fucking do this here? Settings from adventure plate? Okay, never mind. Of course not. It can be used as a sedative, highly potent, but only lethal if applied in excess. If I lack the stomach for it, I'll do it myself. Naturally, my personal contribution will be detailed in the final report, to ensure credit is given where due. What the hell are you playing at? If it catches wind, the plan's ruined. Should we go after them? No, it only makes things worse. If that bookworm wants to stick his neck out for a few gil more, I say let him. What? Dodge. Will they show it? Oh, they actually showed it. I think I actually fought something similar to this beast in Boja during the raid. Interesting. Gods have mercy. There it is. Staying calm, nothing changed except the bait. Now's our chance. They were screaming. I ran, but I could still hear. You were right, it knew. It knew! Keshka Magin, by the 12. What happened here? The hunters became the hunted. Classic. I shall see that their remains are recovered and necessary rites performed. Perhaps you'd be so kind as to return to Quarry Mill and share these unfortunate tidings with the innocent stork. Even with the sedatives, they didn't stand a chance. If only I'd talked them out of it, this never would have happened. We already know, Keshki, you're not really good at talking. I'd anticipated casualties, but it was a massacre. If the beast grown and bolder before it only hunted animals, lone travelers' parade knew it could handle with ease. Its past brushes with death taught it to be cautious. That's probably why it fled to Ral in the first place, too. But it just outwitted a group of armed hunters. Instead of running away from trouble, the beast went looking for it. This was sport, a game, it was having fun. And now that it's had a taste, it's only gonna want more. My poor judgment invited this tragedy. I must make amends. Please allow me to assist you in pursuing the creature. Even without a team of experts at my disposal, I believe my network of contacts will provide useful in gathering vital information. Keep the freelancers out of it and leave the hunting to us. Understood. I place my faith in your abilities as Vipers. Appreciate it, ma'am. If you turn up on your lease, be sure to let us know. I'd best return to Adder's Nest and deliver my report. It's imperative we inform the populace of the threat posed by the beast. Might I ask that you use Quarry Mill as your temporary base of operations? Knowing where to find you will make it easier to coordinate our efforts. Suits me fine. Besides, I got plenty to do here. Like learn about the snack of the woods and the critters and whatnot. But while I have you, there's one thing I want to ask. How did twin adders get their name? Always wondered about that. I beg your pardon? What does that have to do with the creature? Nothing really, just that us Vipers based our fighting arts on snakes. So they're near and dear to our hearts. Might even say we got a reverence for them. Is that so? I suppose we also feel a kinship towards the snakes. The name Twin Adders comes from the pair of white snakes on the Grudanian standard. Though the imagery predates the city-state's founding. There's more I could tell you. Though I fear other matters must take precedence. With a history as long as that, we'll be here talking till the packers come home. I'd love to hear more about it, but I understand I'll have to wait. I'd best get to learning what I can about the creature. While I see to that, maybe ought to squeeze in some more trading. Already did everything. We can just dive straight ahead into the quest. There's probably like 2 more. 83, 85, 87, 90, I don't know. Let's see. I had a bad feeling when I woke up this morning, and sure enough, the beast has struck again. Goliath and innocent stork are trying to narrow down where it'll appear next based on the reports, but so far they've come up empty. I hear Goliath is over at Folgore Float, talking to witnesses. Let's go see what he's learned. I see that a lot of folks are preferring to use the set of gear that they added with the event for Final Fantasy XVI crossover. A lot of folks with that. Thank you for coming. I expect Keshka has shared some of the details, but it's even worse than we thought. The creature grows increasingly bold, with deadly consequences. For a blessing, the people here remain calm, though we must act quickly to avoid a widespread panic. The others have called upon anyone with information to share, and asked that they gather here. As we requested that any detail be reported, no matter how small, we find ourselves somewhat inundated. I'm certain, however, that among the accounts are clues vital to locating our quarry. We can help with that. All we gotta do is ask folks around here what they've seen, right? Yes, that would be most helpful. Perhaps we could start near the Edrite, while Magin asks those over by Bobbing Cork. I feel like we're gonna chase this thing for the rest of the quest line, and the final quest will be actually fighting it. I was passing through the North Shroud when I saw a frightful creature with immense red wings. It was a little too far away to see clearly, but it seemed to be battling a group of smaller beasts, which it promptly slaughtered before flying away. While passing through, I heard that some fiend was on the rampage over in East Shroud. I didn't think of it at first, but when I saw all the people coming from that direction and the looks on their faces, I decided to stay put. Good thing I did too, or I might have died. I think the other MMO that has so much exposition and cool explanations about world would be probably Elder Scrolls Online. World of Warcraft has plenty of lore in books and dialogues, especially in the newest expansion, but still not as much as here. I saw it, flying over the central shroud. With each flap of its massive wings came a powerful wind, bearing the scent of blood, so noxious and suffocating it was all I could do not to vomit where I stood. Man, reading is tough. Feels like almost playing a CRPG without a voiceover. Kinda similar, but less text. Everyone's got a story to share, but nothing that seemed to point to where the beast is. Northeast Central Shroud, huh? The folks I asked it said it was in the south. I tell you, it must be trying to make the whole damn forest its territory. Hold on now. One of the guys I talked to was in East Shroud. You witnessed heard the beast was on the rampage, but mine said he never saw a beast even though they should have been there at the same time. That's worth looking into, don't you think? I'm not saying this is the answer, but you never know where a trail take you till you follow it. Wanted to go or chat up that fella again. I'll take you to him. Composed adventure. As I said before, I was traversing the East Shroud on an errand when I heard what sounded like the flapping of enormous wings. A moment later I saw a wounded animal charging through the brush. It was then I recalled the rumors of monstrosity on the loose, realized I was in danger and ran. So the creature was hurt, but still able to make an escape. But the only way it could have gotten away from the beast is if the bastard chose to let it go. Meanwhile, our friend here was close enough to hear the wings flapping, yet lived to tell the tale. An adventure traveling alone would have been easy pickings, so why the beast spare him? He did something that no other adventurer had done before? Besides running like my life depended on it, I didn't do anything out of the ordinary, but then again, one thing does spring to mind. I carry a potpourri filled with Banyan wildgrass, an Magin custom, in the case you are unaware. That's gotta be it. Goliaths wanna hear about this. So this beast doesn't like this grass from a specific region. Smell of it. Could you wait here a moment? Keshka has asked me to verify a theory of his. I shan't be long. It's exactly as you summarized. Most of those who've seen the beast and lived to tell the tale are Alamigan adventurers. I knew it, it's gotta be that fragrance. A lot of animals have a powerful sense of smell, and the beast is no exception, which makes it that much more sensitive to odors that it doesn't care for. I reckon the beast can't stand the wild grass in those potpourris. It's a potent fragrance, a lot like another kind of grass we got back in Tural. Come to think of it, the beast never went near anywhere that grass was growing. If one's man's meat is another's poison, perhaps the same can be said for aromas. Exactly, and now that we know what the beast can't stomach, we can use this information to drive it where we want it. And it would be behoove me to share our discovery with innocent Stork. Given the information and contacts at her disposal, I dare say she'll help us find a way to utilize the fragrance to its maximum potential. I dare say you're right. In the meantime, we'll head on over to Girabani and pick us some wild grass. Yes, by all means, we must do everything in our power to avert further tragedies. Many of the adventurers gathered here are so terrified of encountering the beast that they are considering abandoning the profession entirely. Several are yet fledglings. If they have had to contend with a foe far beyond their reckoning, they'd die before gaining enough experience to even be considered adventurers. The thought of their bright futures being snatched away like that is almost more than I can bear. Flashbangs. This is the very reason I rejoined the Twin Adders, to prevent such senseless deaths. Therefore, I humbly request your cooperation in slaying the dread Ixmajun. I guess Ixmajun is the name of this feathered creature. No need. I had every intention of putting the bastard in the dirt. To the matter at hand then, a few moments ago one of the adventurers mentioned that the wild grass we see grows abundantly at Pike Falls. Once you've collected enough, let us rendezvous at Quarry Mill. I must warn you though, that Girabani is home to some particularly vicious wildlife. Be on your guard. That ought to do it. As much as I'd love to stick around and study the wildlife, we'd better get back to Quarry Mill. You've done well to gather so much wild grass. As promised, I've called upon the innocent stork to advise us on our next step. I've placed an order with an alchemist acquaintance for custom-made diffuser pouches, which we may employ to spread the aroma over a wide area while prolonging its potency. We'll issue these pouches to twin adder units tasked with driving the beast into an isolated location of our choosing. Away from civilians, an ideal spot for the final showdown. That's good thinking. Indeed, once the pouches have been produced, the beast is as good as ours. If I may, there is a further request I wish to make. Rather than slaying Magin outright, would you instead be able to capture it alive? The better to understand its behavior, such knowledge will prove invaluable should predators of similar nature trouble us in the future. That's a risk we can't afford to take, ma'am. Those hunters of you tried baiting it with a carcass laced with sedatives, but the beast saw right through their plan. It's demonstrated a degree of cunning to rival any man's. Even if we did capture it, it's only a matter of time before it escapes and kills again. There's only one way you can deal with a monstrosity like that. You slay it first chance you get. No half measures, no hesitation. I like his approach. Yeah. Yep. Just kill it. Then we are left with no other choice. What? Pray forgive me for making such an ill-considered suggestion. I shall abandon all thoughts of capturing the beast, and instead turn my attention to the procurement of diffuser pouches. You will hear from me soon. She's definitely sleazy. She's sleazy. She ought to know by now what we're up against. Why even ask? She can't be trusted. She definitely has an angle. I ain't the type to guess at folks' motivations. Wish she'd do us all a favor and put her cards on the table. The rich and powerful are rarely so obliging. You got that right, but since a salt of the earth are speaking our minds, there's a fear in you, but of what I can tell, Gil, for your thoughts, never know, I might be able to help. Well, after talking with those adventurers, I can't help but feel a little scared of the beast, that's all. Anyway, I should return to Gridania to make my report. This quest has became strange. Everyone was kind of weird now. After that moment. Folks always saying one thing but meaning another. Just when I was starting to believe I'd gotten the hang of polite conversations. Ain't no forcing the issue, I know. If Goliath has something to say, he'll say it when he's good and ready. So now we gotta wait on those pouches, and who knows how long that'll be. I'll keep an eye on things here, so I recommend you get ready to face the beast. This maybe the next quest will be the final one then. Or maybe there's gonna be a duel at level 90. That's possible. Goliath sent word that the diffuser pouches are ready. He's heading on over now. Once he arrives, we can finally put this plan into action. The pouches have been distributed among the twin adders, along with the instructions on correct handling. You see, according to the alchemists who made them, the aroma of wildgrass dulls the senses. For the average person, this would do a little more than soothe the nerves, but the creature with a heightened sense of smell, the effect would be far more pronounced. As for where we'll entrap the beast, Innocent Stork has proposed a location in Dravanian hinterlands that she believes is ideal. The surrounding area is largely uninhabited, and Idleshire, the only settlement nearby, is relatively simple to defend. We've already consulted with the Ishgardians and they gave us their blessing to proceed. That's all well and good, but by the look on your face, you're not. I ain't gonna press, but I will suggest that once we get to Dravania, you best hang back and leave the fighting to us. You know full well I'm keeping things from you, yet still you show concern for my well-being. Why? Just my way, I suppose, or the way I was trained as a viper. It's our job to keep folks safe from creatures that go against the natural order. Doesn't matter who you are or whose side you're on. Politics, feuds, all that drama, ain't none of that our concern. I'll admit, I have got my doubts about you, but you're still someone I need to protect. Simple as that. There's something you need to know. Out in the western quarters is... Well, as I thought you've yet to depart from Quarry Mill. What's keeping you? Lieutenant Goliath, whatever is the matter, you look like someone just walked over your grave. I'm glad to find two of you in better spirits though. Seeing as our friend is somewhat under the weather, perhaps it's best that he stays behind with me in Idleshire. No objections here, but Goliath and I were having a heart-to-heart, if you don't mind. I do, we have a schedule to keep, and I must insist our dear vipers get underway. While you are en route to Dravanian hinterlands, I would be happy to lend an ear to Goliath and his troubles. She's gonna punish him. 100%. You needn't worry yourselves, it's of no import. I wish you both good hunting. He almost snitched at her. Said something about quarters. There's something there. Talk about shit timing. For better or for worse, we'll find out what he was holding back soon enough. Anyway, we got a Tural with Ral to slay. Hello. Hello, VMC. No sign of the beast, which gives us time to pick a good spot for an ambush. Let me know what you find. While this location offers a commanding view of the area, it does not offer enough space to fight to your full potential. Third, the charm. I found something you ain't gonna believe. You smell that? It's gotta be one of the innocent stork's diffuser pouches. Somebody must have hidden it nearby. With a bag of wildgrass stinging up the place, there's no way the beast was ever gonna show. Calais and innocent stork sent us on a wild alpaca chase. So where's our Tyrell withdrawal if it ain't here? We're probably trapping it in a different location. They want to trap it and use it for their own, I don't know, field tests or something. There in the wind, wow. In the snowy quarters. No sign of our tricksters or the beast. We best keep searching. There they are. They already captured it. Well, if it isn't the esteemed Vipers, with all their supported skill and intellect asserted that capturing the Great Beast, I'm not gonna read it again, was nigh impossible, or perhaps you were simply afraid? Always gonna bite it on her ass right now. As you can see, I proved equal to the task. All it took was a little ingenuity. I understand XIV's Magin cunning and cruelty better than anyone. There's no way you got it in the cage without... Wait, where's your bodyguard? You yourself observed how attempting to lure the beast with obvious bait ended in failure. But a beast is still a beast, a predator that is compelled to hunt. Casualties are inevitable. Oh man, she's fed her bodyguard with poison. And a prudent strategy must account for them. An exceptional one, however, would leverage this element to its advantage, as mine did. Do you know Latvian? Hi, Random. Yeah. You ordered him to put sedatives in his pocket and soak Magin alone? It was over before it began. His screams still ring in my ears. Okay. Enthusiastically even, all to ensure his plague-stricken family received treatment, the duration of which would be determined by his performance. He all but leaped into the beast's maw. As I'm sure Goliath would agree, there's no limit to what we can accomplish when given the appropriate incentive. You've finally shown your true colors. Colors of shit. I dare say you've harbored suspicions since we first met. I'm pleased to say that the real me is so much more interesting. It's actually the second evil Roganin I encounter. Back when I was grinding Boja yesterday, in it also had a questline. Almost the same Roganin female woman was one of the evil, one of the main antagonists, and now here we have the same. Something about the female Rogadins. I don't know. How much Latvian do you know? Why does it matter? Nu, es saprotu latviski, ko tu no mani gribi? How much Latvian do you know? Why the fuck do you care? What is this? Everyone has their own unique proclivities, and I am no exception. I've awoken to the thrill of bringing rare and ferocious beasts under my power. But that only whets my appetite for the true pleasure when I unleash my pass upon worthy opponents to enact scenes of glorious carnage. Oh, nice, she's a loon. Tāpēc prasi, nu labi. I've met my share of monsters, but none of them compare to you. A monster and a fool, that there's a Tural with all. The moment you open that cage, it's gonna rip you to shreds. Come on, come on. Let's finish this. But if the beast is as intelligent and bloodthirsty as you say, it will soon learn that I can provide a constant supply of worthy prey. In return, it will accept me as its master. Random, please write in English. No Latvian in chat. Not everyone understands Latvian, it's just because of that. The fuck is this? One of my lesser pets should be more than adequate to dispose of you. After all, I am loath to release the beast while it remains subdued. And though I may not be watching, do try to put on a good show regardless. Thanks, I owe you. God damn it. Can't believe anyone would be so stupid enough to try aiming at Toral withdrawal. Never mind, I'm not gonna read it again. But what really sticks in my craw is that Goliath has been dancing the innocent Stork's tune, and there I was thinking he needed our help. She must be manipulating him. You're right, there's more to this than meets the eye. Anyway, no point in freezing our asses off here. Let's get back to Quora Mill to think things over. One thing I know for certain that the beast ain't gonna play obedient pet for long. Innocent Stork's gonna find that out the hard way. But I reckon that after she gets the urge to indulge her twisted appetites, I'll do what I can to suss out where she got to before then. Then there's Goliath, that we others need to know what he's been up to. That he's still alive, for now at least. You best get back to your training for now. Keys or not, the beast's out there, and our job ain't done till it's dead. So I guess the final quest is level 90. Yeah. Since the last time we spoke, the twin others have been looking for Goliath, but they ain't found hide nor hair of him. Meanwhile, there's been plenty of beast sightings. Seems innocent Stork's eager to put her new pet to work. I expect that's why Goliath's commanding officer asked for our help. Let's head to Adder's nest and hear what he has to say. Okay. This should be the final quest of the job's questline. I can finally continue the main story. The main story afterwards. And it's been raining the whole evening. What the hell? It's good to finally meet you both. Goliath spoke highly of you and your contribution to our hunt for the beast. Speaking of which, you got information for us, right? We've received multiple eyewitnesses reports of a creature surpassing even the most elite marks. It dispatches its victims swiftly before flying away. The innocent Stork's direction, I'll wager. She's setting the beast loose to kill for her own amusement. Those slain were mostly roaming adventurers, but the circumstances of each attack suggest an escalation. The beast is striking in broad daylight and closer to more populated settlements. The risk of a massacre grows greater by the day. There is another matter I wish to discuss, which may shed some light on the situation. I've received a letter from Goliath. Though details are sparse, he wishes to resign from Twin Adders. The letter also includes a message for the two of you. Do you recall our discussion in Southern Tanalan? Though my aspirations were beyond me, I pray that you succeed in fulfilling your own. I remember, Goliath, you wanted to prevent those with bright futures from dying before their time. That's why you joined the Twin Adders. Wait. We had that talk in the Shroud, not Tanalan. And he mentions our aspirations, which is to... yeah, it's he just sent us the coordinates, I guess, for the hideout. A hidden message, albeit not a particularly well hidden one. If innocent Stork read this, she would have surely divined his intent. I can only summarize that she knew and allowed the letter to be sent regardless. What better way to lure you into a confrontation with the beast than by taking advantage of Goliath's sincere plea for help? Trap or not, a confrontation suits me fine. If it's a show she wants, then we're happy to oblige. As for the where, she doubtless wishes to avoid attracting the attention of the immortal flames in Amalja. That's a jolly desert like as not. I will send word of Teulda, but in the meantime I wish you every success. Hi, Alice. Hi. Another carcass. This was the beast's work. Didn't expect the trail to be this easy to pick up, but perhaps I should have. All that left now is to walk straight into the trap. No viper worth their salt ever shied away from the danger, am I right? Let's go. Such grace, such power, magnificence itself given form, worthy of awe. Alas, these mediocre distractions are a poor canvas for your art. And she completely cooked in the head. On the contrary, the main attraction is just the beginning. Elias, what have you done to him? After his childish trick with the coded letter, I decided to let the beast punish him. An appetizer, if you will. All the money and the privilege in the world, and this is how you choose to use it. Killing for the sake of killing? You're no better than a Tural Vidral, a monster that deserves to die. A flattering comparison, though you seem to be forgetting the literal monster that stands before you. He's gonna finish her first, right? Oh, I haven't forgotten about you. A coward through and through, I knew, but one I thought had some pride. Guess I was wrong. It's time. Is this all you're capable of? Are you not satisfied with the prey I have provided? You'll have all that you want and more, but only if you obey. Kill them. Kill them now. I demand it. This ain't the beast I know. I reckon innocent stork is the reason why. I can smell the wild grass on her, a less potent mixture than the one we doled out before. Just enough to keep the beast at arm's length. But even that, too much for the visual senses. That's why it's addled and can't think straight. Even so, she'd made a fool's bet. The beast only tolerated innocent stork and her shenanigans to sate its own bloodlust. Two apex predators can't make nice forever. I'm not done with you yet. Callias, you stubborn worm. Karma is a bitch. Classic. Maybe now it can concentrate on the fight. Alright, Magin, give it everything you got. Oh, I fucked it up. No, no. DPS check. A restless beast. May you find peace in death. As the serpent sheds its skin, relinquish this husk, that you may rise again to greet a new dawn. Interesting that its ether is red, like that. Innocent Stork generally believed that she could band such a creature to her will. That arrogance cost her her life. Good riddance, in my opinion. She never understood what she was dealing with, or afforded it proper respect. She took her superiority for granted, but the power she wielded to flaunt the laws of man was powerless against the natural order. Glass, Magin, thank you for everything. It was a damn sight harder than I reckoned it'd be, but I finally avenged my brother in arms and fulfilled my duty. I can once again hold my head high. The beast might be dead, but we're still got a loose end or two to tie up. You haven't told us yet why you led us on a merry chase for innocent stork. May as well come clean now. Well, when I was a young child, my merchant parents were slain by a wild creature on their travels. I meant what I said at Folgord. When I told you I swore to save others from a similar fate. That's why I joined the Twin Adders. Commendable motivation. And then I met Innocent Stork, who explained with great enthusiasm that she shared my desire to protect others by bringing this beast to heal. I thought I had found a kindred spirit, but I later realized she fed me nothing but lies. She used me to obtain information collected by Twin Adders, all for the sake of identifying potential additions to her menagerie. I disclosed all manner of sensitive intelligence to her, believing it was in furtherance of her efforts to save lives. By the time I learned of her true intentions, I was still in. Man, what can I say? Don't trust people. I confronted her, told her that I was going in to inform my superiors. She smiled and laughed and said that she would unleash her fiends upon Grudania if I spoke a word, with some of her finest reserved specifically for my family. I'm guessing it was Innocent Stork's idea to have you join the investigation into the beast. It was. There's no excuse for what I did. Allowing myself to become her pawn has led so much needless suffering. Nothing I can say or do will ever be enough to earn your forgiveness. Whatever punishment awaits me, I shall accept it gladly. Well, Magin, what do you think? Well, Magin, what do you think? Well, Keshka, what do you think? You decide. If he'd only done me wrong, I'd be willing to look the other way, but his deception caused all kinds of trouble for the Twin Adders. They're the ones who needed to stand in judgment. Quite right. I'll request that my superior meets us at Quarry Mill, where I shall give a full account. It's settled then. Meet us there when you're ready. As a soldier of the Twin Adders, your actions are inexcusable. Once I have made my report, expulsion will be the least of your worries. Thus, there will likely be a trial. Can be sent to the mines. Where I come from, we don't take kindly to liars neither. Our word is our bond, and a violation of that trust demands punishment. But I will say this, the lies he told were to protect the people of Gridania. Not only that, the actions he took contributed directly to the defeat and death of the beast. I won't say the end justifies the means, but it's not nothing. Duly noted, though I trust you understand that this consideration may not change the outcome. Yes sir, I ain't my place to tell you folks how to handle your business. I'm just a simple man who crossed the salt to kill a Vidral. But if Goliath isn't stuck in a cell for the foreseeable future, I got something he can help me with. You see, now that my business here concluded, it's high time I made my way home. Trouble is, passage back is more than I can presently afford. I'm gonna need to put in some work, and I reckon Goliath could help me find clients in need of a Viper's skills. For a simple man who knows better than tell us how to handle our business, you've stuck upon an intriguing solution. Well, I've spent a fair bit of time in company of a silver-tongued someone. Goliath, your conduct cannot easily be forgiven. Even so, it must be acknowledged that you played a vital role in slaying the creature. Swear to never again stray from the path of righteousness, and no charges will be brought against you. Moreover, I will accept your voluntary resignation as you did previously request. With this arrangement, you may yet pursue your dream of defending the innocent from the nature's most deadly threats. In your capacity as Kashka's assistant, what say you? I shall do as you ask. You have my word. Though I will bear the shame of my misdeeds as long as I live, I shall endeavor to redeem myself through service to the people. You can start by finding me some beasties to slay. Okay, they found their purpose. I think we're gonna meet him somewhere in the capital in Tural after some point. Would only make sense. Well, seems like I'll be sticking around to yours a while longer. In the meantime, you're sure to find clients of your own. I reckon this continent's more than big enough for the both of us. Wherever there are folks in need of a Viper, that's where we'll be. Interesting that DLA anti-aliasing doesn't work in those cutscenes. Maybe because it's older content, I wonder. We're gonna check it out when I will start the main story. It might be the case for the older locations that it disables it. But strange, here I don't see any shimmer. Interesting. That's it. It's done. You know what I want to do? I want to first of all use the field notes. I need to sell all that crap. That should be good enough. What can I sell? Let's see. Maybe I can sell something new on the market. Wait, you can sell those. Oh. I think I'm done. Let's start. A new world to explore. Here's the name of the quest. Welcome back, Magin. I've just had word from Erenville. It seems he's managed to secure passage to Tural aboard a guild ship vessel. Why don't you wait in the main hall while I go and inform your travel companions? It should only take a moment. Interesting. It seems that delay interlacing doesn't work in cutscenes. Ojika gave us the good news. We've made ready to set sail at a moment's notice. The only one yet to arrive is Erenville himself. I'm surprised they didn't voice the first quest of the main story. Ah, you're all here. It took some persuasion, but the Gleaner's Guild ship has granted us places aboard a vessel bound for Tural. There'll be other passengers, researchers, artisans, and the like, so we'll need to share the deck space. That's fine, Erenville. I doubt anyone expected we'd have a ship all to ourselves. They're not casting off just yet, so if you have any lingering concerns, now is the time to voice them. I wouldn't call it a concern, but everyone's still clear on what it is we'll be doing in Tural, yes? We've not forgotten. The nation of Tulalal Tuliolal is in the midst of deciding its next ruler. As your chosen allies, we shall assist you during the rite of succession and support your bid to become Dawn's servant. In addition to that, Elfino and I have another objective. As a part of its reconstruction, Garlemald seeks ways to reconcile and re-engage with its neighbors. By visiting Tural, we hope to learn more about how its myriad cultures interact with one another, how they find common ground, develop stronger ties, the sort of insights that might help our friends in the Ilsabard. But we'll pursue this goal in our own time. You can be assured that we'll give the contest all due attention. That's all I ask. Otherwise, you're welcome to do as you like. You wanted to find out about your grandfather, right, Kryl? Yes, as far as we could determine from the old missive I found, he had been tasked with investigating the Golden City by your father, the Dawn Servant. Yet oddly enough, we have no record of that investigation in our archives, and nothing to explain the earring which accompanied the letter. Thus, for reasons both official and personal, I shall very much like to get to the bottom of this mystery. I'm sure there'll be a chance to speak with Papa. You can get your answers right from the source. I look forward to meeting him. In any case, you're not the only one with an interest in the City of Gold. The Golden City is a children's bedtime story. I am part of this expedition only because the Third Promise has commanded that I serve as guide. Still playing the part of stoic servant, I see. What of you? Don't you dare tell me you've changed your mind. Thanks Zimbo for the raid. And welcome. We won't make you a Dawn servant by standing here and talking about it. Thanks, Zimba. For this. A man of action. Right then, if all are still committed to the journey, then I say we make ready to depart. Eager as they are, the others have already left for the harbor. We're not in danger of missing the boarding call, but perhaps we should be on our way as well. It's probably gonna be voice now.
Savoring the moment? I can feel your excitement, your eagerness to explore the unknown.
Well, for once, the fate of the world doesn't rest on our shoulders. We might even get a chance to enjoy ourselves.
Do not be so quick to relax. Though Tural may seem but a short sail away on a map, the vast seas between brim with peril. The treacherous waters of Shade's Triangle alone have claimed countless vessels. Even following the safe route plotted by Admiral Bufiswin herself, this will be no pleasure cruise.
Perhaps, but my voyage here was uneventful enough. Disappointingly so.
Either way, the two of you have first-hand experience, which will be of great comfort in the days ahead, I'm sure.
Aye, it's nothing new to us.
All aboard! We're casting off!
It's time. I trust you have everything you need? And so does our ship cast off from the docks. We sail west, as Kettenrand did some 80 years past, bound for the New World, known to her children as the continent of Tural.
Just wait, Papa. When this contest is said and done, it'll be your daughter who sits the throne. Me! Woklamat!
Title drop?
Smooth sailing so far?
Aye, so far so good. But this sea, she's a fickle one.
This voice doesn't fit the character, but alright.
A gale the next.
Clean-shaven pirate.
I'll take my rest while I can
I
then.
guess not a pirate, but a sailor.
We left port what seems an age ago now, and we've seen naught but open water ahead. I knew
I don't
Tyrell
remember
was
this crystal
far,
on her neck.
but it's another thing to really know.
What is that?
Speaking of which, some of our fellow passengers have made this trip before. Several times, in fact. I was able to learn a few things about Tuliolal and the right of succession. Since we still have a long way to go, why not have a chat with them yourself? I'm sure you have questions of your own. Did you look out across these same waters, Grandfather?
Oh, they actually give you the ability to walk around. That's nice of them. Oh, this will be my first visit to Thrall. Fontain's the name. I was working at Stames Aesthetics and all that, you see, but my employment with them came to an end. That's why I visited Charlotte in the hopes of starting over. While I was attempting and failing to find a new job, I seized the chance to board this vessel when I overheard room for another passenger had suddenly opened up. I'm told that Dawn servant welcomes all regardless of origin, and so to Tuliolal, right? And seemed like the perfect place to begin anew. Hopefully things will be better this time. What else has to say? I can feel my edge start to dull on this long sea of voyages. How about some light sparing later? Deep breaths, deep breaths. Retired mercenary. I see you in the Yorze before. you great and famous hero. I have enough of playing that simpleton. There was a time when we took great pains to maintain the deception. But with more of your Eorzeans coming to Thrall, it's become impractical. Besides, my mercenary days are over. Too many of our warband have fallen. And so we've headed home to lick our wounds. My story? Well, since you asked, I wanted to retrace the historic journey of the great Ketan Ram. You know, the first Eorzean to set foot on Thrall, almost 80 years ago. The Mongol leader is said to have welcomed Ketan Ram with open arms, and sent him home with a bounty of silverware as a token of their friendship. But the real treasure was the crops he brought back, potatoes, tomatoes and corn, which spread across Eorzea like wildfire. His grand adventure led to a culinary revolution. It's basically a story of America, right? And potatoes coming to Europe. The tales say Ketan Ram returned to Thrall several times after that, but his ship vanished during his last recorded voyage, and he was never heard from again. That even a seasoned explorer like him could meet such an end is testimony to the ocean's peril. Ah. Wait, you can return to Old Charlian from here? Interesting. An adventurer, I presume? I'm a merchant myself based in Ulda. Specialty imports and exports. Eorzea and Thrall both. If this is your first crossing the salt, as they say, do remember that the social mores of Eorzea are not necessarily the same as those over yonder. Consider this. It is not uncommon for the various races to be referred to instead by the names of certain clans. For the Mikote, the Hetsaro, the Hrodgar, the Xbral, not because every member of a given clan is of the same race, mind, but because many individuals of said race are associated with the clan. A fair assumption in certain cases, but take care not to give offense. Basically gangs? Each race has its own gang? Makes sense. I'm told this vessel has been equipped with a barrier generator to protect it from storms. A reassuring thought, though I nevertheless pray there will be no need for it. I can definitely tell the difference in contrast in this zone from Old Charlian. Very vibrant. A little bit blown out whites, but it's fine. Do you want to make a wager? We're taking bets on who'll be sat next in the Dawn Servant's shiny chair. There are 4 claimants in the right of succession. Your young Wuklamat being one of them, of course. But from what a Mamuljo bloke was telling us, the other 3 are all strong contenders. Not too many keen to risk their coin on the third promise. Oh, I heard that about the clan names. We should have Wuklamat and Erenville teach us the ones we should know. Actually, it's getting a little chilly up here on deck. Let's all gather in the cabin. Will we have a feast? Please tell me it's gonna be a feast. They're gonna show off the new physics. A stormy night on the ship. Nice.
We're in for a proper storm, it seems.
How's your stomach? Any better?
I don't know What you mean? I don't get seasick. I'm just feeling a little nauseous is all.
Isn't that what seasickness is?
Erenville, you were born in Tyrol, yes? Do many Vieira live there?
The Shatona, as my people are called, have settlements mainly in the north,
Shatona.
in Shaktural.
And your family?
I know nothing of my father, not even his name. As for my mother...
We're in the teeth of a nomad! Reef that sail for the last snaps!
Oh dear.
Only elves on watch! This wind's too strong to take in your ah! I'm going off the mast! We need help! Get in below decks first! Quickly! Before he's washed overboard!
Come, we should lend what aid we can.
I have not seen the ocean rage with such fury before or since. The heaving waves tossed our ship about like a toy, sending sailors tumbling. The dauntless Alizé, quick to the rescue, was almost lost to the sea herself. Meanwhile, our champion rushed to deploy the vessel's magical defenses, and thereby shield us from the lightning. What an extraordinary life he must lead to be able to operate such a device with practiced ease.
We've pulled a lot of handles over the years, yeah.
Woklama, too, threw herself into the rescue efforts, though one might have mistaken her for another soul in distress. By the time the unruly seas had calmed, our strength was all but spent, and we had yet to even glimpse the shores of Tural. In retrospect, of course, that battle against the storm would prove a fitting prelude to the coming contest for the throne.
Morning. Joining us for some fresh air? Seems my belly has settled along with the weather, but I'll feel much better once we're on solid ground. Ugh. Can't be much farther now, can it?
Seabirds. Land must be near. You need only hold out a while longer.
For a dark moment, I thought the ocean might swallow us. Glad to have my pessimism proven wrong.
In other good news, I examined the sailor who took a fall, and he's faring well. I'm sure he'll make a full recovery.
Good news indeed. If all's well, then we needn't delay in launching the landing boat. Ships have to lower anchors some way from shore. Too close, and they risk having their underbellies ripped open by the reefs that crowd Tuliola's coasts. Come.
Thanks for bringing us all this way.
We only did what we were paid
Ah,
to
so
do.
this is the ship from the
Couldn't hardly
cutscene,
set you
from the
adrift
cinematic.
halfway.
We were drifting on the smaller,
If
on the
anything,
smaller boat.
It should be us thanking you for helping us through that beast of a storm. As a matter of fact, everyone's starting to fancy your chances in the contest. At this rate, we won't be able to lay wagers no more.
Then I better not let you down. Easy, stomach. Easy.
We're the last to board. If there's nothing left to say, then let's shove off, shall we?
Blue seas, clear skies, and boundless possibilities. I dare say our destination will soon be in sight.
Enjoying yourself for a change?
There, look, my friends. Behold the scene of our next great adventure.
Come to the land you call the New World. To my home, Tural.
I think you have to rebind print screen because it's conflicting with the game's button. Title drop. There we go. I arrived during nighttime.
gods. I've seen cities with an impressive mix of cultures, but this is something else.
Is that a... No. I've never seen Varnu feathers in that color before.
You'll find much here you never knew existed. There may be a sea route now, but visitors to Tulihyolal are still few and far between. And as we don't build seafaring ships, only a handful of Turali ever venture abroad.
Mamulja sellswords mostly. Those willing to play the fool sail with Lominsan merchants to secure employment in Eorzea.
I suppose that makes us a rare sight in your country.
Rare and currently undocumented. Were there some forms we should fill out or...
Forms? Did you forget who you're traveling with?
You are outsiders? Visitors to Tural?
We are.
Our nation is soon to hold a right of succession to choose its next Dawn servant. We will not abide interference from foreign agents seeking to foment trouble. What brings you to Tulihyolal?
I can answer that. These fine people are allies in my succession bid.
Third promise. If you vouch for them, then all is well. Of course.
Please, accept our apologies.
No need to bow and scrape. That our soldiers are so diligent in their duties fills me with pride.
We'll be continuing our patrol then.
Well, well. You really are a figure of authority here.
Are you suggesting I don't look the part? Anyway, first things first. I bid you welcome to Tulihyolal.
And here we are. $67 FPS, 70. What an amazing scene is, lively as older, and even more colorful. According to Erenville, the Vanu I thought I saw belongs to a clan known as the Anu Anu. It seems they share more than a physical resemblance. I wonder what kind of trouble those soldiers are expecting. Ah, it's so nice to feel the familiar breeze again. I wasn't sure my stomach would make it. Well, despite the storm's efforts to the contrary, here we are, safe and sound. Mountain Chromite weapon coffer. 645. It's actually worse than mine, but it's gonna be another glamour. Another glamour. Still a bit queasy. No more boats for a while. I realize we're just arrived, but we should get you familiar with the city before the rite of succession begins. No arguments here. I shall very much like to explore. Then I'll guide you. Are you sure you're in any condition to do so? We were wondering who these strange folk were. So the third promise has found herself some new followers then. Followers? Muklamat, are you on wall? No, not at all. Couldn't be better. The third promise does not get seasick. No, sir. As for my hand-picked entourage here, I've recruited them to help me with the rite of succession. I was about to show them around the city, in fact. That sounds lovely. But a group of foreigners is going to attract attention, especially if they're in the company of the third promise. Everyone will be curious. We certainly were. Your siblings have a tendency to command a respectful distance, but you're just so easy to approach. And I enjoy it so much when you do. Please, don't ever worry that you're a bother to me. You're very kind. Good day to you, third promise. They did have a point. Muklamat is technically royalty here. Like it or not, a person of her station surrounded by this many outsiders is bound to draw a crowd. Wait, what do you mean technically? I suggest we move into two groups so as to attract less attention. Just technically ignoring me then? Imagine you and Kyle can come with me. I'll take the twins then. We'll get in touch once we had a good look around. That voyage was hard on all of us, so take it slow and recuperate. We have time enough for that. Enjoy your wanderings. Perhaps we should wait a bit, at least until Muklamat's nausea subsides. No need for that. Look, I'm ready to go. I'm fine now, really. Can't stand around all day feeling sorry for myself. What with the contest looming and all. Now then, seeing as we're already here, I might as well tell you about the harbor. Adamville already mentioned the reefs in our coastal waters, which explains why you don't see any big ships moored at the docks. Only vessels with shallow drafts can navigate the bay, mostly small fishing boats or barges ferrying a cargo up and down the rivers from inland settlements. Much of the incoming traffic is from Yok to Ral, the sovereign landmass. The clans there produce various goods for export. Their wares are unloaded here and carted off to merchant stalls in neighboring markets. Speaking of which, Bayside Bevy should be our next stop. Oh, 49 FPS. There we go. 55. This is Bayside Baby, Turiolal largest marketplace. Being right on the harbor, everything from fresh fish to imported wares go directly to the shelves. Anything you want, they most likely have. Alright, I should mention that here in Turiolal we buy things with PAL. I couldn't say that the Palu created. But don't worry, more and more trade is coming in from Eorzea, so most shops are happy to accept your guild. There's also Wachumekike, another market to the east of here. But that can wait for another time. I have other places I want to show you first. Next we'll head back a bit, then northwards up the stairs to a certain plaza. Can't wait to see the look on your face. 94, 97. Level 100. That's probably a skipper. What do you think of that, eh? Goodness me, you have otherized into Liolal. I think I told you before, but my brother Koan has spent 3 years studying in Charlotte. He fell in love with the nation and its ways, and brought back to us the knowledge of Etherite construction. Papa warmed to the idea at once, had one built immediately. Did you do the tuning thing? If you're ready to continue, we'll head down again and then up the slope to the side. Right at the top is the gate which leads to Zaktural. Let's make a stop at Bright Bloom Post on the way, though that's the headquarters of the Lance Guard. Karatun. It's actually sunrise, huh? Nice. Look at that. Pink sky. We have a lot of narrow, winding streets that crawl up the sides of the mountain. As you can see though, the builder makes sure the city's main thoroughfares were wide enough to accommodate wagons. Trudging up and down all these slopes and stairs is exhausting. I understand now where Wuklamat gets her handless endurance. Kinda reminds me of Ilsabart a bit. Just a tiny bit. we are, Bright Bloom Post. The soldiers stationed here are responsible for defending Tuliolal and preserving the peace. The Lance Guard are led by our nation's strongest warrior, and so naturally Papa has commanded them since the beginning. At least until 3 years ago when Zoral Jah took over as commander. The title is no empty honor. It means the first promise is considered equal to the Dawn Servant in martial strength. Meanwhile, I haven't even managed to. Well, I'll discuss my brothers and their accomplishments later. Alfino and Elise should be around to hear it too. Come on, it's time I showed you the Sky Gate. It's right at the northern end of the Talon March. I love how the music just changed to a more dynamic because of the sunrise and daytime. I didn't even notice the difference. No. Wow. Why it's so massive? And on the other side is an equally massive bridge to match. Both were constructed by a race of giants, the Yokoi. Strictly speaking, Tural is actually two separate continents, Yoktural, the southern lands of the mother, and Yaktural, the northern lands of the father, which lie beyond the bridge. Legends say it used to be one great landmass, but long ago the two gods fought a titanic battle and one threw the other to the ground. The impact was so devastating as to split the continent in twain. A familiar sounding tale. I'm put in mind of the conflict between Hydaelyn and Zodiac. Oh. That kinda makes sense, no? But getting back to Yaktural, those lands are also part of the Tuliolal nation, correct? That's right, isn't my father incredible? He united the people of two continents into a single nation. The many clans of Tural had been at war for generations. It was only when Baba traveled to the lands and put a stop to their myriad conflicts that we finally had peace. And that's the main reason I want to win the throne, so I can preserve the peace he built. But I see you're more interested in what's behind the gate than hearing about my aspirations. Crossing the bridge to Yaktural requires a special travel pass. Unfortunately, they won't issue any new permits until the right of succession is over. I promise to get you one when I'm Dawn Servant, but until then, you'll just have to wait. I've never broken my word. Once the throne is mine, that travel permit is yours. Must have covered half the city by now. Tuliolal is unlike any other place I've visited. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. Oh, the first set of new swords. Nah, mine's better. We'll head west next, towards the Arc of the Dawn. The dirigible landing is on the way. You have dirigibles too? Tuliolal certainly doesn't want for methods of travel. We get by. Now if you've seen enough of this area, let me know and we'll continue on. The Ark of Dawn is on the other side of the city. So speak up if you see something that interests you as we walk. I'm still struggling to conceive how one could construct an entire city on the side of a mountain. This was originally the site of the Yoku Temple. The giants built it when they were first making the bridge. When they were making the bridge to Yaktural to appease the god who slumbers in the Great Ocean Trench. After the Yaku withdrew, the temple stood empty for centuries. So when Papa was establishing his nation, he saw a structure he could refurbish into a palace, sitting practically in the center of Tural. He gathered artisans to do the work, and the houses they built for themselves became the foundation of the city you see today. Speaking of the houses, we'll be passing through the Resplendent Quarter, the biggest residential district in Tuliolal. We climbed these sets of stairs here and all the way up. Wow, what a view. That's cool. Man, I'm so glad they added DLSS. This whole area would be so shimmery without it. Kids playing. Papa's palace is called Volog Shunza, which roughly translates to invincible resilience. You probably want to take a closer look, but we'll be coming back here later. Let's move on for now. The sheer scale of this place is incredible. I wonder what that carving at the top represents. Two heads looking in, probably looking to east and west. Wow. the Resplendent Quarter. So this is the Resplendent Quarter. What manner of people live here? Oh, we have residents from all the Yogg-Tyrell clans. Mamuljak, Zbral, Pelupelu, Mobley and Hanuhanu. We also have Donawavata, Etzaro and Shetona, who moved south from their ancestral lands in Yogg-Tyrell. In essence, it's a gathering of people from every corner of Tyrell. A true representation of Turiolal's diverse character. The adornments on each building contribute to the eclectic cultural aesthetic. It's all so beautiful. I'm glad you think so. Come on, we continue down the stairs. That big drum there is called the Dawn Herald. They play it for formal occasions, like when honoring the Lance Guard's return from a dangerous duty. I tried hitting it with my axe once, I ripped the skin, earned me a proper scolding, let me tell you. I think that was the time Papa held me upside down by the ankle. I've never seen such an enormous drum. Why would one even use it to beat such an instrument? And the city is huge, if you really think about it. What is this place? The Four-Round Cabins. And here are dirigibles. Not bad, eh? I hear other nations use airships to sail the skies, but you'll only find balloons in Turiolal. We have them for the exact same reason as the Etherites. Koana brought back the plans from Charlene, and Papa thought them fantastic and commissioned their construction. This was around 3 years ago. Since that time we added flights to other settlements. Trade with frontier communities have never been easier. What's that? That's enough about dirigibles. The Ark of the Dawn awaits. This is it, the Ark of the Dawn. When the giants were still here, it was known as the Yogg-Tyrell Landsgate. But when Papa founded Turiolal, everyone began using its present name in honor of his great achievement. Though this gate is Koza Mauka, the wetlands south of the city, depending on what the right of succession asks of us, we might end up going in that direction. The name alone is intriguing. Yeah, you can't even fucking say it out loud without without mistakes. Speaking of which, what were those fluff animals we passed earlier? Oh no. Oh no. The alpacas. Ah, those are alpacas, fearsome four-legged fiends. Fearsome? They seem quite placid to me. You'll learn soon enough, Krell. You'll learn soon enough. But forget the alpacas. I have something far more important to show you. Come along. If you wish to learn the history of the city, then look no further. The stone pillars, you mean? Alright, I think I'm gonna leave the other part for other day. That's it for today.